Hey everybody, welcome. Dr. Denise Start here. Today we're going to explore why it's so difficult once you have gotten the resolve, the resources, the courage, whatever it took for you to leave the relationship, why it's so hard to stay away. This is a question I get from so many women and men leaving toxic relationships. And it's because the person who's been hurting you for so long is a master manipulator. They can flip so fast from being the perpetrator to the victim that they trigger your kind-heartedness. Even though you were mistreated, suddenly you're watching this person and they're upset and they're sad and they're wooing you back. It's really hard to stay connected to that enough is enough moment that finally brought you to the point where you chose to leave. This is the reason that you see myself, many other professionals, people who specialize in toxic relationships, talking about no contact and how important it is. If you are a person like myself who loves dessert, it would be as though someone put your favorite cake, cookies, candy, whatever in front of you, that big piece of red velvet cake right in front of you, and said, you can't move this. It's going to be here, but you are not to have any. Not now, not ever. But you got to look at it. Think about that compared to cake's gone. That last piece was thrown away. It's not in the house. You don't see it. You might think about it for a while, but you don't see it. It's not right there in your face. So think about when you were in the relationship with this person, likely, even if it was about control, likely they texted you often, or if it wasn't often, they texted you at the most opportune moment for them when you were probably out doing something else on your own. It just pulls you back in. And there it is. Again, this person is taking up that emotional real estate in your life. The phone rings and their picture pops up with their familiar number, for instance. That's like the cake right in front of you after you have broken up. It's so important to remove that temptation. Even a toxic relationship, even an abusive relationship, isn't 100% bad. And this individual knows how to get you back to that place where you're thinking, well, we did have some good times. Maybe it's not all lost, and I've invested so much in this relationship already, and boom, you are hoovered right back in to a relationship that has hurt you for way too long. So as hard as it is, as maybe it sounds very cold to do this, it's essential that you go no contact to the extent that you are able. So any pictures of the two of you that might be around, get rid of them. Get the face and the number out of your phone. Block every avenue of contact, whether it's by phone, email, social media, whatever it is. Get rid of all of it. Now, if you share children together, it's a difficult situation. It's different. What you need to do in that case, there's a lot of different mechanisms that would allow you to speak to one another through a third-party software, or limit the conversations only to the children so that you set this boundary. And if this person crosses it, then you're like, no, I'm not going to respond to this email. I'm not going to read on from here. Please send another email just asking the question or telling me what you wanted to just about the children. So it really takes a lot of energy, a lot of resolve that you are going to set this boundary and keep this boundary to protect yourself. Avoid on birthdays, holidays, special days. Even if it's a year later, 2 years later, keep your guard up. Don't let that guard down. This is when the person comes back and tries to suck you back in. They'll tell you they love you, that there's no one else in the world like you, that they made the biggest mistake of their life. And sadly, if you give them the opportunity and you get sucked back into that relationship, it's going to be more of the same, only worse. Because the dynamic in an abusive relationship, particularly with a narcissistic individual, is control. They need and want to control you. Even if there are other people in the picture, for them, in their mind, they own you. And ownership is not something that we do with another person. So protect yourself. It's hard because these relationships are addictive. And we talk about reinforcement and intermittent reinforcement, where it's not predictable, where you don't know when the person's going to flip. You don't know which of them, which mask they're going to be wearing on any given day. Is this going to be the angry, screaming, demeaning person, or is it going to be the sweet, loving, I know what you need and want person? Or is it going to be, oh, you have to help me, you've destroyed me, this is all your fault person, right? So depending upon what tactic they use at any given time, the cycle, if you're watching, is there, and it will repeat. And each time you get sucked back in, you get sucked in further and further, and it's harder and harder to get out. So if you are wondering why it's so hard for you, it's not about you. It's about the dynamic in an abusive relationship and how over time your self-esteem has been whittled down. Likely you've been isolated from people who you once saw frequently, people in your life, friends, family, coworkers who love and care about you, and you have systematically been isolated from those people. The longer you spend in an abusive relationship, the less energy you have to muster for what you need to be able to break free. But I'm here today to tell you, no matter where you are, there is a path forward, and there is joy and a wonderful life on the other side of this burden, of this prison that you have been in this toxic relationship. So don't beat up on yourself. Why tends to be a question that takes us around in circles. You have been twisted around in circles by someone for a long, long time. Don't do that to yourself. We don't have to ask why. Why is it so hard? It just is. And know in your heart of hearts that you're in very good company, that many people have been here before, are there now, and many have moved beyond this very painful place. And you can too. I'm glad you found my channel. I hope that you will like a video, give me some feedback as to what you would like to hear me talk about, and I'll look forward to seeing you another time. Take care and make it a great day. Bye-bye.